Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. And if you've joined me, please say hello in the comments so I know you're here. Whoops, sorry to bump the camera there. Today I'm going to be having my first play with a brand new Beauty of the Earth suite. This is out of the new, almost ready to launch next week, annual catalog for 2021-2022. This is it. I've gotten mine coil bound finally with my tabs. If you want to know where you can get these tabs to print out and add to your catalog, let me know. I will point you to the website. And then I took this to my local Office Works, and for $5 and change, they cut off the spine, drilled the holes, added clear acetate front and back, and put in the coil binding. So I highly recommend that. I can't really show you what's inside, but it does make it really easy to flip through and hold open to the pages. I also wanted to give you guys a little reminder that this catalog, the mini, is actually the mini catalog for January through June. So this is going to go all through the month of May and June, and not retire at the beginning of May the way the annual catalog does. This is a little different this year. They're doing a transition, but look, it's like they planned it. They actually kind of coordinate in their cover designs. So don't forget, all the great products in here are still available, including this great Dandy Garden suite, which I love so much. Anyhow, I will keep playing with that stuff for the next 2 months, but it is hard to resist new product out of the brand new catalog. So that's what I'm going to do with you today. Hello, Roseanne and Paula and Joyce and Gladys. Thanks for joining me. So this, in my unboxing video the other week, I did show you guys this product, but I'm going to bring it back in and show you again. This is everything out of the Beauty of the Earth suite. We have this great bark 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to play with that a little bit today. I don't think I've used that yet. I don't think I've used any of this yet. These are the dies and the stamp set. So a couple of these dies, this one and this one, are standalone, and the little birds. And then these three coordinate with these stamps. So we'll see how far we get today in what we make. And then again, we have this wonderful, what is the name of it? Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. And this one is designed, if you're a scrapbooker, you could use the whole thing, I suppose, but really you can cut it up into 6 card fronts. We might do one of those today. And then of course the reverse side, you can use this. It's got sort of an evergreen tree motif, but you can also cut out, there's all kinds of things. Very pretty stuff. Sky and flowers. I'm just showing you real fast all the great patterns. I love this one. Love the colors. Love that one with the colors. I love all the colors in here. Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. And there's tree trunk bark. And then these you can cut out and put on a card individually. And there's some more green watercolor wash. So now the question is where to start. Where to start? I'm going to start by showing you all the colors in this suite. And hopefully I can flip these up without them going everywhere. Bumblebee, Cajun Craze, Cinnamon Cider, Mary Merlot, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Early Espresso, and Night of Navy. I think you can see all of those. Yep, those are all in this designer series paper. So I've got them at hand to use for whatever I choose to do. So let's start with a bit of stamping maybe. And I'm going to bring in my Stamp and Pierce mat that I've got covered with a bit of scrap grid paper, because this is a photopolymer stamp set. Oh, and you may notice on the new sets from this catalog, they're still coming on 2 sheets of plastic, the thick one and the thin one, but it's not printed on the thick plastic anymore. And that is because what they want you to do is actually transfer everything onto the case itself, is the idea. Is that you would transfer them onto the case and then cover them or not. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that with all of mine, but you know, there we go. I'm going to start with the tree trunk, I believe. Grab a block. Again, it's my first play, so I'm not quite sure which blocks are the best for each stamp. It's not a straight up and down, so I'm just making sure by putting the stamp down and letting it lay naturally and putting the block on top, I'm not making it curve any particular way, so it should fit quite nicely with the die, because I haven't moved it cattywampus. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull this in, and I think I'm actually gonna put a little Versamark on this first, not because I'm going to emboss with it, but just to kind of, some people think that helps it seal up pores and it won't stain so much. I don't really think that's what happens. But, you know, let's give it a try for a minute. There's one. Let's do a couple of them while we're at it. I'm still not sure what I'm doing, so we'll just stamp and see what we create. Oh, let's do a third one. That one didn't stain, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Apologies in advance for any camera shaking that happens with this. We have come a long way on our dyes since we first got them. We could there was not much detail in them. You could barely cut out round shapes. And there weren't so many of this thin rule style so that we could stamp and put the die around it. That one didn't line up so well. Let's see if we can get this last one better. That's better, I think. Okay. Yeah, that's the one that didn't do so well. So, what am I going to do? What? I am truly making it up on the fly. Just trying to get an idea of how wide this die is so I know where to cut. Okay. I'm going to do this off camera here. This may not have been what I wanted to do. We'll see here. 1 second. Grab my die brush. think what I actually want to do is this. So this is how I go about when I'm creating from scratch. Sometimes I cut out things that I don't use, or I wind up using in a way that I hadn't thought I would originally. I think is what's going to happen here. Because I think not done yet. Butterfingers there. What I'm going to do with this is tear it, and so I don't know how well you guys can see this. I think you can see it like this. The part that you tear up has not a clean edge, but it doesn't have the white showing through like the bottom part. So you need to think about that when you're tearing, about where it's going to wind up showing. And this is one of those things that goes in and out of style. See that? I don't want that white edge. I want it to look pretty organic like that. And this is going to be under there, and I can figure out, I cut this a little bit wider than this, so I can figure out exactly where I want it. And I can even come back in and do a little more tearing to get a little more texture in there. There we go. So I'll probably glue that down. I don't really want these to be probably scatter some of this on the ground. Okay, so let's see how we want this to go. I'm going to start with this. I'm going to get the glue started. I didn't do any crafting yesterday. I did all computer work yesterday. But I am so close to being ready for the 4th with all my retired products going online for sale. If you're here in Australia, a few more dabs of glue. Line that up with the bottom. Really line that up with the bottom. And then I can chip off the ends. There we go. Yeah, I could spend some time messing around with glue and other pieces of stuff. Oh, you made your way in, Noah. Mr. The Big E-Collar Paralyzes Me found his way into the craft room. There. So I just used sticky tape because, like I said, I could mess around with other things, but don't really need to. Sticky tape does the job. For Noah, I had gotten him that great inflatable donut collar to use instead of the e-collar he got sent home from the vet with. For those of you who don't know, he was neutered on Monday, and not a surprise. He doesn't like the e-collar. He tends to kind of freeze in place. But he's long enough that he can work his way around the donut collar and lick at his incision. So had to go back into the e-collar, but we figured out how to work with it and how to get him in and out of it easily for toileting and meals and all of that stuff. So, and over the days, at first he couldn't move at all, but now he's figured out he can move, and even if it bumps something, it's not the end of the world. But he's doing well. He gets pain medication in the morning for the first 5 days, but he's got to be kind of quiet for 10. That should be fun. Yeah, I think I'm going to put them on something like that. I think that one will glue flat. Maybe we'll do some dimensionals here. So, what else do you want to know about Noah? He this morning he discovered, those e-collar, the cones, they overlap. He discovered he can chew where it overlaps on the inside. I tried turning it around so that seam was behind him, but he's figured out how to turn it around again. So, yeah, Noah the Destroyer. We're told that this neutering could help him kind of calm himself. Here's hoping. But, what you gonna do? Okay, there's the 3 trees. See where I'm going with that? See where I'm trying to go with that? Yeah, he keeps me on my toes, all right. First night, it was just whining, whining, whining. So I made him a big bed in the middle of the living room. Got him to lie down, you know, had to tempt him into lying down with treats. And lay down next to him for a while before I could go off to bed. But that's okay. That's what I signed up for, right? But he was fine last night to go to bed, which is good, because I needed him to be. So I'm just snipping off here places that I think might work well for leaves on the ground. I don't think I'm going to do too much more. Since there are so many leaves left on the tree itself, just look like some have started blowing away, right? I think I said when I unboxed this that I was really glad that they'd done something autumnal at this point, since it is autumn here, even though it's spring in North America, where Stampin' Up! Is headquartered. Sometimes I remember that not all of us are. That's my last little bit right here. There's that. Now the question will be, what color to mount it on? You know, that's always the question, right? What do you think? Blending in with the mossy meadow or popping on the Cajun craze? I like that one better. You see it again? That is Mary Merlot. Or Mossy Meadow. Or Early Espresso. What do you think? Okay, nobody's voting for. That one. I like that one. I was so glad they made a designer series paper that used this Mary Merlot because we hadn't used that color in a long time. Now, I was wondering about putting a sentiment there. Still thinking. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be too big, which is fine. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one and figure out something later because I can't quite come up with it right now. gonna have a little bit of a play with this paper, I think. So let's see if we do. So you'll see how fast all of a sudden we've got card fronts. And they can go on almost any base out of this. Yeah, I don't like it on there. Ooh, look at that one. That I like. Don't like that as much as I thought I would. So we have two different blues. We've got Misty Moonlight, which is what that one is. We've got Night of Navy, which I really like that. I really like the Cajun Craze. That one's okay. I bet I'd really like another Mary Merlot. Thanks, Roseanne. Yes, May 4th. It's hard to create and monitor comments at the same time. So I'm happy with those three bases. Now to figure out what to do besides that. I think the thing to do is just some sentiments. This one says, friendships refresh the soul. And this is definitely true, for me at least. Nope, not that piece, but this piece. This is my embossing buddy. The powder in it reduces static and neutralizes any oil that has gotten on the cardstock from my fingers, because I am going to stamp this in Versamark. And I will be right back. I'm going to heat emboss this real fast. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Here we go. There's that. And I could punch that out, or I could use a die, but I'm actually going to fussy cut it, hand cut it out, which is a big trend these days in sentiments. So I'm going to see how well I can do here. See here. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it at that. Just thinking about dipping down in there and dipping a little more there, but I think I'm just going to leave it. And then what I'd probably do is go in and do the same thing on a piece of Cajun craze and Mary Merlot, and do the same sort of thing. I'm gonna see if I can see what I can find. A little bit of sparkle. I'm out of the holiday rhinestones. These are too light. Yeah, see the holiday rhinestones, I'm down to one shaded spruce and one cherry cobbler. But they have Night of Navy ones, so that would have worked well. But what I think I will do is bring in my brand new clear rhinestones. And dark Night of Navy Stampin' Blend. These are permanent and they work really well to color embellishments. So, and they should dry basically immediately. I'll wait for them to dry a moment more. I'll figure out where I'm going with them. Always a good idea. What do you think? Yay, bling! That's right. And I could have put them on just as they were, and they would have been great, but I like them in the blue. And that's a little tip for you if you have Stampin' Blends in the color you want and you don't have rhinestones in the color you want. Presto changeo. So, I think I'm going to leave it there for you guys. That's 1 and 2, and I could add some bling to this one, but I don't think so. And I think when I do this one, I'll probably stamp directly on there. Again, kind of a little more organic or natural. Oh, I didn't do anything with the embossing folder. Well, that'll be for another time. I'm sure you'll see it. So, like I said, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back again next week, same time, same place, and another project or two for you. Thanks for joining me today. If you are in Australia, you're not working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator at the moment, or you want to change demonstrators, I'm happy to help you out. I would be happy to send you one of these brand new annual catalogs with all kinds of great stuff. I am looking forward to playing with that suite. I do not own it yet, but I will shortly. Also, if you're in Australia, well, if you're anywhere in the world and would like to participate in my May classes, I do offer PDFs of all the projects with measurements. If you are in the Melbourne area and would like to participate in person, you are absolutely encouraged to do so. All the details are at nancysniftynotes.com under classes and events, and I would love to have you join me in whatever way you can. So, see you again next week, and take care and happy stamping until then. Bye-bye.